To some people, the homeless are just an unpleasant reality. To others, they are invisible. To still others, the homeless are getting what they deserve. But to most of us, we simply don't know what to do with them or for them. Meet some Good Samaritans, your neighbors, regular folks, volunteers who have eyes to see the homeless as God sees them. Individuals who use their God-given gifts to make both a here and now difference and an eternal one. They have brought their talents, their professions, and their hearts to God and allowed Him to open their eyes.
Rod Schneidmiller is owner and president of Sterling International. He invented the Rescue Yellow Jacket Trap. His inventing began in his own family kitchen. Upon his wife's urging, he moved to the garage, relocated to a barn, and then finally landed in the building that now houses his business. In addition to inventing, Rod has a passion for being Christ's hands and feet. He started a program called Community Care, in which he encourages his employees to serve others on their lunch hour. Faithfully once a month, Rod and his staff come to the mission to serve a meal. Rod says that when you reach out a hand to help someone, it doesn't just change their circumstances, it lifts their spirit. From firsthand experience, he knows that serving a meal to the homeless expands our vision of how we can reach out into the community. Because of his leadership and example, his employees are learning the joy of serving. They are seeing others with compassionate eyes and extending their own helping hands. Theda Ziegler first experienced the Union Gospel Mission when she responded to a friend's invitation to a women's auxiliary meeting. She shared that she had a lot of misconceptions about the homeless until she heard the powerful testimonies of changed lives. She fell in love with the ministry and wanted to do something to help, but she didn't have any money. So Theda invited the staff women to her home for her first Christmas tea. That tea was such a success that she opened a tea house to raise money for Anna Ogden Hall. In just 2 years, she raised over $10,000. Her business became so popular that it quickly outgrew her home. In 2008, Theda opened the Taste and See Tea Room at 9th and Cedar. The tea room is open to the public to enjoy a delightful tea party. But Theda has expanded her vision even further. She offers women from Anna Ogden Hall an opportunity to gain work experience and learn professionalism in the workplace. She is preparing them for their life after Ogden Hall. And it all started with a friend's invitation. Mark Reiner is a familiar face at the Missions Eye Clinic, but the road there was a painful one. In the early 80s, Mark was a successful optometrist in Colville, Washington. But at just 35, Mark had a stroke. One by one, he lost everything that was important to him: his health, his practice, his marriage, and family. He even lost his optometry license. In 1990, Mark's friend, Walt Michaelis, encouraged him to volunteer at the Mission's Free Eye Clinic. There he could use his skills and knowledge to help hundreds of needy people. However, in 2003, Mark experienced another setback. He developed a condition related to Parkinson's. He bravely chose to have a risky brain surgery to correct the problem, and it worked. Today, Mark drives from Colville every Thursday to volunteer at the eye clinic. Though he has received awards for his service, that's not why he keeps coming back. He's regained a part of his life, and the people he sees are blessed too. Christy Kinsinger is passionate about her involvement with the Missions Women's Auxiliary. She knows firsthand the vital work that they are doing. Years ago, her own family was suffering from emotional abandonment and stuck in denial. That denial was shattered when one of her daughters tried to commit suicide several times over a 3-year period. Christy was frightened and discouraged. When her daughter was again admitted to Sacred Heart, a social worker recommended Anna Ogden Hall. She went. For 2 years, the staff at Ogden Hall loved and encouraged Christy's daughter, eventually leading her back to a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And Christy got her daughter back as well. Today, with deep gratitude, Christy serves as the president of the Women's Auxiliary Board, tender-hearted and passionate about making a difference. She encourages other women to be the arms of Christ for hurting people. It's her way of giving back to this ministry that saved her daughter's life. A delivery driver for a local pizza place, John Palmer was looking for a way to serve those less fortunate than himself. He heard about the Union Gospel Mission from friends, TV commercials, billboards, even a mission staff member he bumped into through his pizza job. When he began volunteering nearly 3 years ago, he agreed to help at the Barnabas House, the mission's transitional apartments. Every other week, John meets with the residents for accountability and connection. He prays with them, talks about what's happening in their lives, and regularly goes on outings with the men. The tight-knit community loves John. The men are grateful for his interaction with them. As they re-enter society, John is there to encourage them and add some guidance along the way. John says if he wasn't volunteering here, there would be a huge void in his life. If John wasn't giving his time, his energy, his heart to these men, there would be a huge void in their lives as well. From childhood, Shelley Altmeyers had a heart for hurting people. Even as a little girl, she loved to visit folks at the nursing home. It was the personal contact. She longed to lift their suffering with a touch, a listening ear, a kind word. Then, within a year of her wedding, Shelley experienced suffering firsthand. A car accident left her in a wheelchair. Suddenly, she was dealing with a loss of her own. Yet, in the midst of painful rehab, she was moved by others' pain as they went through similar circumstances. Again, she wanted to help. Shelley has found that her wheelchair opens doors in surprising ways. When she rolls into a room at the Union Gospel Mission, the men's faces light up. It doesn't matter how tough their lives have been or how hard their hearts are, the men know that Shelley understands pain too. In her volunteer work at the mission, Shelley has compassion, kindness, and hope for everyone she meets. She believes she can make a difference in their lives, and she does. Some folks support the Union Gospel Mission financially, but Dr. Stephen Mills and his wife, Rochelle, are more hands-on. When the mission's clients need dental work, Dr. Mills is the dentist on call. For the past several years, he has accepted pre-screened referrals from the mission. At his own cost, Dr. Mills provides cleanings, extractions, and fillings to mission residents with dental emergencies. Rochelle works alongside of him as office manager and is a welcoming presence. Like so much of the work at the mission, God is at the heart of the Mills work. They learned to trust God through heartbreak. Their son was diagnosed with a brain tumor at age 15. The Mills were helpless to do anything but stand by their son and trust God. It gave them a deeper compassion for people that were in need, and the Mills wanted to give something back, and they have an amazing way of doing that. Today, countless men and women are smiling in gratitude. My friend Bob McConkie is a car guy. His name is synonymous with the auto auction industry in the Northwest. But that's not really what Bob is passionate about. Change lives, people serving others, God in action. That's what gets Bob's motor humming. A few years back, I had the chance to speak at Bob's church and talk about the Union Gospel Mission. Bob saw that the mission was a model of how people in crisis should be treated. He liked what he saw. Now, Bob knows cars, and he knows cars can be used to help people to get them back on their feet, whether working as a mechanic or a salesperson or receiving a much-needed vehicle and making a new start. When he heard about the Union Gospel Mission motors, Bob got excited. Then he got involved. Through his business, DAA Northwest, he has helped get the Union Gospel Mission motors up and running. This wasn't Bob's first foray into business as ministry. He sees his own company as one, providing jobs for his people, financially supporting ministries, encouraging his employees when they need help, and encouraging them to serve others. God made Bob a car guy. Bob's life is about sharing what he's been given. Many people enjoy music, but there are some people who love it in a way that goes way beyond appreciation. They give their life to it. From an early age, Bill Byrne had a passion for music. He loved it so much that as a young man, he headed off to see the world and play rock and roll. Living out of his truck at one point, Bill learned what it meant to struggle. But he had far too much talent to stay there long. He started writing music locally and before long was composing music for clients from around the world, including CBS, ABC, and NBC television, as well as producing music for theatrical trailers and numerous hit TV shows, even the Prime Minister of Greece. But Bill's sphere of influence goes beyond Hollywood. He has put his God-given talents to work for Spokane's homeless. Bill has produced musical scores for the Union Gospel Mission. From video projects to radio programs to TV spots, Bill has elevated the quality of the mission's special projects with his creativity and professionalism. Music inspires. Bill hopes his music will inspire others to hear the stories of the homeless and respond with compassion.